You know that feeling when you use an app and it just works? It feels intuitive, almost like it was made just for you. But what about when an app makes you feel a little weird, or maybe even physically uncomfortable? Well, behind every single swipe, click, and avatar, there's a whole world of invisible decisions that were made for you. These choices are the difference between a smash hit and a total flop, and they can even affect how safe you feel. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain and look at the hidden rules that really shape our digital world.
All right, here's what we're digging into. First up, we'll look at the essential blueprint that every great product needs to succeed. Then, we're going to get a little more personal and explore how we actually build our digital selves online. And finally, we'll get serious and talk about the ethics of designing new realities that are actually safe for us to use. Okay, I want you to imagine trying to build a house, but with no blueprint. Seriously, the electrician thinks the kitchen goes in the back, the plumber is putting pipes in the living room. It would be total chaos, right? Well, that's exactly what happens in the tech world without a clear plan. Projects just completely fall apart. And that's where something called the system concept statement saves the day. So what is this magic blueprint? It's the system concept statement. And honestly, it's usually just one single powerful sentence. But that one sentence is the project's North Star. Before anyone even thinks about writing code or drawing a design, this statement lays it all out. What are we building? Who are we building it for? And why should they care? It's the anchor that makes sure everyone, from the boss to the brand new intern, is rowing in the exact same direction. Just look at this example. It seems so simple, but check out how much it tells us. Let's break it down. Who's the user? College students. No question. What's the main point? Tracking study schedules. And what's the secret sauce? The real value. The personalized reminders and progress dashboards. Heck, it even tells us it's a mobile app. In just 20 or so words, all the guesswork is gone. Boom. And this is why it's so important. That simple statement becomes a filter. So when someone in a meeting says, hey, we should add a calorie tracker, the team can just point back to the statement and ask, does that help college students track their studies? If the answer is no, the idea gets shelved. It stops the project from getting bloated with useless features, it makes sure the research is asking the right questions, and it guarantees the final product actually solves the problem it's supposed to. It's the one simple rule that keeps a super complex project from going off the rails. Okay, so this idea of a clear plan doesn't just apply to the product itself. It also applies to how we build our own digital spaces. I mean, think about it. When you jump into a virtual world, your avatar isn't just some digital puppet you're moving around. For a lot of us, it's a real extension of our identity. It's how we express who we are, or maybe even who we want to be. And that transformation from a generic character into your character, that's everything. The ability to change your avatar's hair, its clothes, its accessories, that's what turns a bland default model into your digital self. It might seem like a small thing, but psychologically, it's huge. It creates this really deep connection that makes a virtual world feel less like a game you're just playing, and more like a place where you actually belong. So how does that connection get built? Well, it happens in a few key ways. First, there's simple self-expression. You get to show off your real-world style, or maybe try out a new one. Second, and this is absolutely critical, is representation. When a platform lets you use things like a wheelchair or a prosthetic or cultural clothing like a sari, it sends a powerful message. It says, we see you and you belong here. Then, just the act of spending time on your avatar creates what's called psychological ownership. And finally, all those choices help you find your people through social bonding. And you see this everywhere in practice. Gamers rock their guild symbols to show everyone who they roll with. Students in a virtual class might all wear digital college t-shirts to feel connected. Even in a virtual office, people can wear branded pins or accessories. These little visual cues are like a universal language. They help us find our tribe and build a genuine sense of community in a world that you can't even physically touch. Now, let's shift gears from the purely virtual to the augmented. Augmented reality, or AR, is that cool tech that overlays digital stuff onto our real world. The potential is mind-blowing, but what happens when that tech goes wrong? What if it makes you physically sick, like giving you motion sickness? Suddenly, it's not just a technical bug anymore. It's a really serious ethical problem. Let's be really clear about this. When an AR app makes you feel dizzy or nauseous, it breaks the #1 rule of design: do no harm. And if the app doesn't even warn you that this could happen, that's a huge transparency failure. You can't agree to a risk you don't know exists. This also makes it an accessibility problem because it shuts out anyone who's prone to motion sickness. And at its core, it just shows that the product wasn't tested responsibly, with real human well-being in mind. So what's the fix? Well, the good news is this is solvable. It just comes down to designing responsibly. Developers can work on the tech to reduce lag, which is a big cause of sickness. They can give us control, like a comfort mode that tones down the crazy motion. They can show clear warnings, give us a non-AR option for important stuff, and, this is key, they need to test their products with all kinds of different people, especially those who are more sensitive. And honestly, sometimes the solution is as simple as this: a clear, direct warning. That's it. This tiny design choice empowers us to take care of ourselves. It shows respect for our safety, and that's how you build trust. It's about treating the user like a person, not just another number in your data. So when you put it all together, from the project's blueprint to our digital identity to our physical safety, you start to see a pattern, right? Every single one of these hidden rules comes back to one big truth. Great technology isn't really about the code or the hardware. It's about understanding people. It's about psychology, empathy, and a huge dose of responsibility. So I'm going to leave you with this. The next time you open an app, just for a second, try to look past the screen. Think about those invisible decisions that are shaping what you see and feel, and ask yourself one simple question. Was this thing designed with a person like me in mind?